you get a little older, you get a little wiser. You get a little older, you get a little wiser. And at some point you start to realize, look, dude, you're not working out so you can have a six pack so you can attract chicks. You're working out so you can freaking protect your family if you need to, so you can run if you need to. You can, physically perform.
Agreements require powerful, real conversation multiple times to create what's going to happen, by when it's going to happen, who's going to do it, and why does it matter? What, by when, by how, by who? You got just frameworks of coaching and teaching.
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, dude, I've got a freaking badass for you. Setema Gali. What's cracking?
Big dog, what's up, baby? Great to be here. Honored to be here.
And if you guys don't know who this dude is, then you don't watch football, because he used to play for the Patriots, probably some other teams. Only the Patriots?
Patriots.
Just the Patriots. Usually you guys play for a whole bunch of teams.
I had probably the shortest career of any guy, so one team.
Okay, good enough though. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, by the way, if you're not watching on YouTube, this is all audio to you. We'd have the full episode on YouTube. You can see what we're saying. There's more graphics. And this dude looks like, I would say, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. How often you get it?
Like 10, 20 times a day, easily.
Dude, if you said, you can tell you're not him, but if you said you were his fucking brother, bro, I swear to God, I'd believe it, and I'd bet on it.
I tell people, stunt double. I just finished doing Black Adam. They're like, serious? I'm like, I'm not serious. I'm just joking.
Yeah, well, dude, you look just freaking like him. But now you are a results coach, and you've been one for quite some time. It's not like you just became one. But we were talking yesterday, and I said, dude, you got to come do the podcast. Why? Well, I got 1 billion entrepreneurs that follow this. Not just entrepreneurs, all kinds of people, men, women, doctors, lawyers, businessmen, employees, employers. And all we do is shoot the shit about problems and challenges that people have faced in life and the solutions that were used to get out of those situations. And then the bomb squad, they get to listen and sometimes take those bombs and apply them in their own life. Make sense?
Love it.
And dude, this is what this dude does for a living. He's got something called Titan Immersion, right? Yep. And what's the shield?
For the women, it's called Shield Maiden Immersion.
Shield Maiden Immersion. And it's all about basically, getting out of your own way, changing your life, and getting some results.
Yeah, transformation, getting real, stop lying, tell the truth, get real about where you are, get real about what you want, get real about the work you're not doing. Like, just tell the truth, and you'll be amazed at the freedom that comes with being real.
Dude, hey, I like the word real.
Yeah, one of your companies.
Hey, not only that, I'm the real Brad Lee. I started that whole thing, by the way.
Oh, the real,
if you look back, I was the real Brad Lee on social media before all the real ones came out.
I love it.
But I got it from anyway. That's another whole story. But dude. And by the way, if you guys want to follow this dude at Setema, Setema Gali, even though it's spelled Gali.
Yep.
Sounds like Gali, but it's actually Gali.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure that's Samoan.
Samoan, you got it. That G has an NG sound.
Now, how come there are no small Samoans?
There are.
I've never seen one. You just
don't know about them.
I've never seen one. Every Hawaiian I've ever met is a tough son of a bitch. And every Samoan I've ever met is a big son of a bitch. Why are you guys so big? What is on the island?
Real talk, man. Like, I think the islanders come here to the States and we eat this processed food over here and it just hits different, man.
What do you guys eat there?
Over there, you're living off the land. Taro, breadfruit, coconut, banana, like good, clean food. Like you won't, there's not a lot of guys my size over there, but here in the States, they're this size. That's my opinion.
You mean if I go to Samoa, there's not a bunch of big Samoans?
Not going to look like this, man.
Really?
Yeah, they're fit. They're like lean. They look like Marvel characters, fit, lean, functional. Here we got iron, we got weight rooms, and then we got all this processed food.
So dude, let's go back because I want to dig into, because you do this for a living every single day. You help men and women. Usually it's either men or women. You help them both.
Yeah.
And you've got programs that you've developed that have unbelievable frameworks to drive results. Did you get that from like NFL Combine or some shit? Like, where'd you get it all?
Man, it's like everything from the NFL, from the time in the mortgage industry, losing it all. And then I went door to door for 3 years, and then I hired coaches and mentors. So, right, the most excellent and elite version of people, they learn from every experience of life. They take the lessons, they package them and put them inside of this principle, and then they go teach other people how to find success. And I've hired so many mentors, read so many books, podcasts, and I really do feel called to change lives. I feel called to be a beacon of light, and I feel called to do what I do. And I also feel like I've got some natural gifts and abilities, which I've been able to hone and make better.
Now, you speak all over too. So again, the speaking career, if you will, isn't really what you do.
No.
Even though a lot of people see and hear and know of you because you spoke, what you really do is coach.
Yeah. In fact, I just came from a speaking engagement right before I came here. And
how'd it go?
It's great.
Did you crush it?
Oh, I think I did well. Yeah. People cry. That's kind of like, they get very emotional.
If I see you on a Monday do the speech, and then I see you on a Friday do the speech, is it the same exact speech?
Never.
Really?
I mean, there's some stories that are the same, but I'm not, like, if you listen to I think it's Damon John talk about FUBU, you're going to hear the same speech. Like, it's so dialed in.
Well, it's an act almost.
Yeah. For me, I am very real. So my team's like, hey, what are you going to talk about? I was like, I don't know. Let me get in the room. Let me look at the people. Let me pray and ask God to guide me. Right. And then there's enough frameworks that I can know how to speak. Maybe there's going to be some similarities, but it's rarely the same thing, because there's different people in the room, and I'm speaking to people. I'm not speaking a speech. I'm talking to the individual, the one person who needs to feel and experience something when they're with me.
That's a bomb right there, my friend. Dude, I almost want to come hear you speak one of these days. You got me like interested in watching. Only because I wouldn't say I'm a speaker. I would say I'm a talker. Meaning I'll go out on stage and do exactly what you're talking about. When people say, what are you going to talk about? I don't know. And they think I'm joking. And I'm like, no, I really don't. And they're like, well, dude, you're up in about 30 minutes. And I'm like, I know. Let me think. And what do I do? Well, I just think in my head, and I try to gather information when I'm there. What is this event for? Why are people here? Why did someone take their money and time to be here? Now, they may not know who I am. Just because I'm speaking there doesn't mean they know me. Some of them might. But what are they here to learn? What are they here to get? And all I want to do is walk out there and give them some value. I'm not there to sell them anything. I'm there to just 100% say, look, this is what I think. This is what I think you should know. And I hope it is good. And sometimes it's unbelievable. And sometimes it's not so great. So there's the problem with doing it our way.
Yeah. Well,
but I'll bet you're just being humble, because I'll guarantee you, dude, you've got your things. See, I haven't got them down. I'll say one thing, and then the next weekend I'll use that example, but it will be different. And then sometimes it's freaking bam, I nailed it. And then sometimes like, dude, you should have shut up after the 9th one of those. So you, I bet, have it down at least.
Well, Brad, I'll put it like this. So my framework that I use is this question. It's just like, it's everything you said. Why are they here? What did they come to get? But I ask the question to myself every time, what do these people need to experience? What do they need to see? What do they need to hear? What do they need to feel while I am in front of them? I have zero focus on how I look, what I sound like. My focus is always like, and again, I'm like, God, there's one person. Even if there's 2,000 or 3,000 people, I'm like, who's the one? Who's the one person that I'm here to go touch their heart and move them? I call it MTI, move, touch, inspire. And I just asked that question. What do these people need to experience so that they'll actually leave and go do something, versus I got excited, I got a little caffeine shot, I'm gonna go back and do the same thing. I want people to see something and to feel something, be like, oh my gosh, I have to go do something different. So that's really my beginning framework. And then, I do have the way I intro myself, with some of the stories, but I'm always listening to the voice.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm always listening to the voice. I call it the voice. People call it God, the universe. But I really believe I don't believe. I know. When I listen to the voice to say something, to move somewhere, and I do it, man, like we win. If I ignore it because I'm afraid to say something that needs to be said, I don't help the people that are supposed to be helped. So I listen, and I've just, faith. After a while, it's like, I know it's coming. I already know. I know when I step into that room, someone's going to feel and experience something. And then now we're on a path together.
And you don't care if there's 2,000 people in the room and only one likes it.
I'm looking for the one.
See, I'm the opposite. I want everybody to be like, yeah. I want them to throw up. I want them to stand up and throw babies.
Shoot. Well, what ends up happening if you touch the one the right way, they almost always get touched the way they need to be touched and moved.
So, dude, you probably hear a lot of stories and issues and problems in life.
Yeah.
Because in coaching, I'm sure you get people to open up.
100%.
And you've had some serious stories being thrown at you.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like sometimes all of those, how do you keep them from affecting you?
So there's a capacity that a coach builds up. And by a capacity, I mean, when for the first time, if you're hearing someone come and dump their problems on you, like you might absorb it and take it in, and all of a sudden you're in the pit with them. As a coach, my job is to not take it and absorb it. I take it, I hear it, I got it right in front of me, and I just have a set of eyes that's like, do you want to move forward or do you want to stay put? And if someone wants to stay put and just tell their victim story, I get it, I've been there. Cool, I listen, and if someone wants to actually move forward, then I've got, it's practice. It's like repetition, practice, something you teach and preach. Repetition, practice, repetition, practice. You do it long enough, I could coach from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m, on the hour, every hour, and be done. Yeah, I'll be a little tired, but I go home and I'm like, dad shows up. In the beginning, when guys learn how to coach or run an event or speak on a stage, it's exhausting because they don't have the capacity or the competency to handle what's coming at them. So it's after a while, you get really good at it. I could go from a serious conversation, someone's on the verge of divorce, someone's tens of millions of dollars, like they're losing, someone's on the verge of trying to commit suicide, something high pressure, high stakes. And after a while as a coach, I'm like, cool, let's go solve it, let's go figure it out. And then when I'm done, I go home and 5-star daddy shows up, 5-star husband shows up.
I know you have an event coming up. I don't know if it's going to be quick enough for this to drop, or long enough. You have multiple events throughout the year?
Yes. So
if somebody listening is like, dude, I love this dude. How do they go to an event or look you up?
The best place to go is to my website, setemagali.com, SETEMAGALI.com. From there, you'll see a podcast, you'll see this group, just a number of experiences. And that's the best place to start. And I'll say this on stage, I'll say this to people in their face. I don't care if you like me. As a coach, not there to be liked. You don't pay me to be your buddy. You actually pay me to help you get a result, to actually tell the truth, the real truth, to stop lying, to stop avoiding. And it's uncomfortable for most people, but for the people who are like, I'm done pretending, I'm done with the mask, I'm done with the facade, I actually want to move my life forward and up. I'm not the guy for everyone, but I am the guy for the people who are like, I can resonate with this cat. I like a dude who's going to punch me in the throat, punch me in the face, and be real with me.
And not only that, to me, that's how you get to the bottom line the quickest.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the day, you can bullshit people. What's the purpose? I like to cut to the chase and keep it real, my damn self.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not necessarily a coach because I don't have a program. You've got not only a program, but you've got several and they're dialed in. How long usually does one hang with you?
Yeah. So if someone comes and works with us, they're probably on average 2 to 3 years. I've got clients who are 3, 4, now 5 years with us, and they're going to probably be with us.
Well, it's like a family.
Yeah, very close. I have clients in our group who are like, I'm in 3 other groups plus yours, but they're like, your group, Setema, is all heart. Like we're hard. Like I'm a hug people. I tell people I love you, and I mean it. I don't just say it. Like people are like, how can you say you love them? But after a while, the clients are like, I love you too, coach. Like I'm a loving guy with a big heart. God gave me capacity. I can meet someone and be like, I love you. Like I mean it. And that's my groups. Love, big heart.
How many groups do you got?
So our main group is what we call our Circle of Champions. We have a group called the Huddle. And we have some other groups like for our stage speakers and our coaches. But those are our main groups, Circle of Champions and then the Huddle.
So, dude, if someone wanted to be a speaker, you could help them with that too?
I have a stage speaking boot camp. It's a 3-day program. And again, I'm very dynamic on the stage. If you go to like my Instagram, you'll see some clips. I mean, I'm dripping with sweat. I'm covering the stage left to right. I'm engaging the audience. It's a show. Like, I'm like, you can't be boring. People ain't gonna listen.
Where did you get that? You developed it, or are you just naturally talented?
So, number one, there's some natural talent, obviously. Number two, I grew up doing Polynesian dancing. We're entertainers. Like, we're entertainers. That's what you do when you do a luau or an MC or you're a musician. You learn how to get in front of 2,000 people. Brothers, this is aloha. Do a luau or I'm emceeing something. And there's some natural talent. Like two of my sons, actually almost 3 of my sons, they got to give them a mic. They'll like take over. I'm like, oh my gosh, they got the same thing I got. Give them a mic, give them a stage, and they can go. And then obviously you watch other speakers. I'd watch Tony, I'd watch Zig, Jim Rohn. I'm like, I like that. I'm gonna take that. I take it, I use it, put it into my tool belt. And after a while it becomes yours.
Who's your fave?
Oh, man.
You kind of sound like Tony too.
I get that sometimes. I used to do the whole say I still do I clap a lot. We do a lot of things.
And the way he claps, he has
big hands.
He has this weird clap.
We do a lot of 2 claps when I speak. My favorite, man, I don't know if I have a favorite. Tony's great. Brandon Bouchard, I sure like Brandon's just this.
I've never heard him speak.
No, he's phenomenal.
I always thought he was like a funnel king or something.
No, he's a trainer. He has a style, right? He has a certain style, but
isn't he kind of like
he's
Poindextery?
He's a happy dude.
He's not like a cool dude.
Nah, but he's cool in his own way.
I thought Brandon Bouchard was like a funnel expert.
Well, he is a funnel expert, but he's a game changer kind of guy.
I didn't know that.
No, he's
I gotta
awesome.
go look him up because a lot of people talk good about him.
He's great. He's fun. And then again, there's guys from the industry that I've been in, right? Again, the guy we know, Garrett Whites, he's phenomenal. He's pretty wild. I've seen Russell Brunson, but again, I like a lot of speakers.
You've never seen Brad Lee?
I've not seen you live yet. I've seen you on video, but I haven't seen you live.
That's the same shit.
Nah, it's different, man.
No, same shit. Well, again, I mean, I hope one of these days you do get to see me live, just so I can say, give me some critique. Because every time I get done, I think to myself, "Damn, I could have done this, I could have done that." But there's a lot of times where I got done and I was happy with what I said and did because it just freaking flowed. It flowed. It felt like from walking out to bang, 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 good night, bang, everybody stood up. I get standing ovations usually. I always think it's people being polite because, it's polite to stand up.
People don't always give standing ovations.
But it is polite to do so. I could think you suck, dude, and I'll stand up and clap and like, okay, come on.
See, I won't stand up and clap. If someone wasn't good, I'll be like, I'll clap, but I ain't standing up, man.
Well, I think it's just polite to do. And so every time when I leave, I'm like, how'd I do? And they're like, bro, you got a standing ovation. I'm like, yeah, but dude, like they're just being polite. But how did I do? So it's like I got this second guessing of myself, which I don't necessarily mind because I think it keeps me wanting to do it better. But I also think, is that like an insecurity I got to fix? What do you think about that?
No, it's real. I just finished speaking. It's like football. Before every football game, there was always a little nervousness and anxiety. Every time I get off the stage, I immediately go to, oh man. And I used to go down that downward spiral, like, did I do good? I'm like, man, I left it out there. And then I'll have people give me feedback. I'm like, give me some feedback. my business partner, give me some feedback. It's normal. I still do it. I could speak every week. I've spoken so many times, and I think it's a part of, because you're a guy who learns and grows and wants to get better. It's normal. So I still do that.
Are you funny at all?
I like to use humor, man.
Yeah, because I got people laughing.
Yeah, laughing, crying. Yeah,
I don't get the crying. One time a buddy of mine said that I'm supposed to let go of a few tears and it'll really, make me vulnerable and da-da-da-da-da. And I didn't mean to do it, but one time I was down at this event. There's maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people in the audience. And I started telling the story about my dad when I was little and what happened. And nothing major happened, but I started getting a little bit teary-eyed. And so normally I'd be like, and I'll figure out how not to do it.
Sure.
So I thought, okay, I'll just let it go a little bit. So I wouldn't say I cried, but I definitely was teary-eyed. And when I got done, everyone was like, "Oh, Brad, we've never seen that side of you. It was wonderful." But I didn't like it. I told my wife, I said,
why did you like it?
What do you mean? Because I don't.
That's not you, huh?
I don't cry.
See,
I don't cry.
I'm an emotional dude. There's things I could talk about that all of a sudden, man, the tears flow up, and I'm like, and I just push through, and tears come down.
Well, people love that shit.
People are crying, and again, you get around me, and I'm emotional. I cry. I do, and I used to hate it. I used to be like, God, why'd you make me this way? Like, I hated it. Now I'm like, I'm 6'4", 295 pounds. I cry. I'm cool with it.
Dude, well, no one can say much about it. But, to me, it's like I wouldn't call it a technique, but to me, it's like a great way to connect with the audience is to be vulnerable.
100%.
So I don't want this to be about speaking, even though it sounds like it right now. If you guys are interested in speaking, or you guys ever thought, hey, I've got something to say, but I don't have the balls, or I don't know what to do, dude, reach out to this dude, get in a speaking course. I'm more interested in talking about the courses where dudes are freaking not winning. They're not, living up to their expectations or their commitments, or, cheating on the wife, not making no money. And then they come into you, and then boom, you got wives telling you, thank you, whatever you did. Like, what are you doing with these people?
Yeah.
Imagine there's somebody listening, because there is. This is what I've realized about this podcast. Dude, there is somebody listening right now that you're going to touch. There's going to be people, tons of people, matter of fact, reach out. There'll be a whole bunch that find you to be, damn, I've been looking for a guy like this. But there's one person, like you said, there's one person out there, dude, that's going to reach out and say, Brad, that dude changed my life. So remember what you said earlier, hey, there's that one person. So what would you say? Like, what's the one person out there doing? Describe who he is so he can be like, that's me. He's talking to me.
So it's whether you're a business owner or an entrepreneur,
okay,
right? You control your income. You're a leader. And there's we break our program. There's 4 domains: the physicality, your fitness and your health; spirituality, your purpose, your faith; relationships, your marriage and family; and then finances, your business, your money. And the person that I can help is a person who's wanting to be awesome. Like they want more. They're not good just having a steady job, steady paycheck. And something is happening in one part of his or her life, and it's like because they're a leader, no one questions them. On the outside, they got cash flow, they got the cars, the home. It looks really good. But if they're honest about it, business is awesome, but the marriage is suffering. Like, there's no connection, there's no intimacy. The sex is stale or non-existent.
But there's a lot of marriages like that, don't you think?
Yeah, there is. A lot of people.
And it's nothing bad.
No. I'm like, it's not even bad. It's just, is this what you want? And if it's not what you want, then you got to be real about it. So whether, and for some people,
what if that causes a divorce?
I've had people come through my program and horrible marriages for 20 years. And we become the catalyst that gives them permission to finally see the truth, go make the cut, move on, divorce. And they're like,
but dude, don't you feel guilty for that?
No, not at all.
See, that's people ask me sometimes, what should I do? And I'm always like, dude, I am not going to be responsible for you to get divorced. Although the way you're saying it, now I'm thinking about it differently. That could be the best move, But how do you know if you don't know them that well?
For half of the people, it's the best move. And I'll see people stay in a...
Just because they're not having the sex they want to have?
Not even this. The sex is a small part. The connection, the communication, the intimacy, the trust, the love, like everything. Why would you stay married to someone if you're basically roommates, you hate each other, you tear each other down, you're not good?
How about if you're just roommates?
Yeah.
You enjoy each other for the most part. You're buddies.
So my question is,
you're buddies, but you're not fucking like dirty devils, and you're not like freaking in love, and you don't French kiss for hours on the couch.
Like my question is always like, is what you have working for you? Meaning, does it give you what you really want? And if people will tell the truth, most people lie. We all lie. People just lie about stuff. If you tell the truth, like truth, facts, real, does this really work for you? Most people, after they kind of pull all the facade and posturing up, they'll be like, no. But they stay in the marriage because, they don't want to get divorced. And I'm not...
And they made a commitment. They think that they have to honor that.
Forever, even though they're getting abused or getting cheated on, or like I'm not for or against divorce. I'm for... what are the results that you want? So I coach people, whether their business is struggling, marriage is great, or their marriage and family is great, business is great, but their body they're no energy. They've lost the physicality and fitness. And so one of those 4 areas for the people that we help, or 2 of those areas are off. Guy's going to go build his business, leave his family behind. He doesn't want that. Or a woman's like, has this vision and this calling, but she's so afraid because she's been trained, taught, and educated to play small, and she doesn't belong. And she's got these stories that I'm not worthy and no one listens to me. Like,
it's a man's world. Yeah, that's what they think.
Yeah, it's a man's world. That's a story. So we help people get over these stories, get clear about what they want, and then go get it. I just spoke barely, and 2 of my clients have been with me. One's been with me 4 years, and one's with me 2 years, going on 3 years. They're killing it. These clients had multiple 6 figures of debt, 60, 70 pounds overweight, lying to their spouse, afraid, fraud. They're just like pretenders. Today, they're just lost the weight, confronted things in the marriage, paid off all the debts, started new companies, went from 1 stream of income to multiple streams of income. I mean, there's endless possibilities, Brad, endless.
What do you think you're saying to them that wakes them up?
Stop lying, tell the truth.
But what does that mean?
Yeah. Say what is real about where you are, your current reality. Where are you today? Like the truth. Where's your marriage at? Where's the relationship with your children?
But what if someone's just real pessimistic about it and they're it's not as bad as they think?
I'm like, great. Sounds like you don't need me. Because
I'm saying, what if they think it's worse than it is?
Then we help them to see. Again, we help people to see the truth and what's possible if they were to just stop lying and tell the truth. Truth is a knowledge of things as it really is, as they really are. Right? Again, we have definitions for all of our words. Truth is a knowledge of things as they really were, as it really are, as they are to come. That's the facts. When someone starts to tell the truth, Brad, like the facts about where they are and about what they want, we can then get them from where they are to what they want. And we have frameworks and blueprints and protocols and systems to help them go get it with predictability and sustainability.
Well, that's the trick. Predictability.
Yeah.
Like when you can predict what's the outcome.
Oh, I can predict, like for the clients that I work with, based upon what they're doing, based upon who they're being. It's easy to say, like, here's where you're going to be. But I got to get them to see this default future that's in their life. Good example. Most of the clients we worked, all of them, they are very delusional about the future. They're delusional. They think, I'm going to build this empire. I'm going to be here. I'm on my way. I'm like, No, you're not. Let me help you to see how delusional you really are. They've lied to themselves. They've covered the truth up. And when they come to us and they see like the default future that awaits them, unless they change, they change.
Well, can you give me a few examples of lies that you see frequently?
Yeah. One lie is like, my marriage is amazing. Oh, it's so good. My marriage is so good. I'm like, well, awesome. Tell me why.
We're besties.
Yeah, we're besties. I'm like, well, tell me about it. It's so good because they have learned to live in a space where they don't rock the boat.
That's 100% right there. They think that's what I was trying to say. Like they're not, like when you say, well, what's real? And they think it's real, but it's not real.
You go ask the spouse, how's marriage? And after the first or second or third answer, we're like, it's good. That's good. It's the kind of the elevator conversation. We're good. How you doing? We're good. When I talk with people and they're real, because that's the frame I create for them to be real, they'll be like, I'm miserable. But the whole social media world thinks you're happy because that's
asshole's never home.
Yeah, he's never
and when
home.
he is, he doesn't pay attention.
He's not present.
And then he says, well, that she doesn't fucking initiate sex ever. I haven't got a blowjob for freaking 10 years.
Guys are like, she doesn't want to make love to me. Well, when was the last time you took her on her date, wined and dined her, took care, like put your socks in there? When was the last time you actually put your phone away and looked at her and touched her? When was the last time you were truthful with her? That's one lie. Another lie is that business owners are like, dude, we're good. We're going to crush it. 2023 is our year. I'm like, let me see what you're doing. I'm like, you've been in the same spot.
A lot of people do that one.
Right? Oh, this is our year.
This is it.
You have no idea. I'm like, you've been saying that for 5 years, man.
This is the year though, bro. You don't understand. I'm going to crush it.
And I'm like, and so again, lies about even the work that they're not doing.
So what should they say? Like, dude, this ain't going to be my year.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do the same shit I always do.
That's exactly what you should say. The truth. Just be like, I don't want to lose weight. Yeah, just say it.
No, I mean, but listen, because I've been in all the positions. So I would say, of course, I want to lose weight,
but I'm not willing to commit.
But I don't want to go through the discomfort and the pain and the work to do so. Because why? Being fat ain't really that bad. Because again, I mean, like, for me, when I was a little heavier, because I've been way heavier, I still got the ladies. Life was still good to me as a pudgy boy. So like, it wasn't really that bad. But at the end of the day, I did want to lose weight. I did want to be ripped. I did want the muscles and the abs. I just didn't want to put in the work. Why? Because that shit's uncomfortable.
It's hard.
Yeah. And so then you start to realize, look, at least for me, it's not about comfort, believe it or not. I think you grow and develop and flourish through challenge, through opposition. Yeah. So like until I mature, I say matured because again, I was like immature. I just thought, but you get a little older, you get a little wiser. You get a little older, you get a little wiser. And at some point you start to realize, look, dude, you're not working out so you can have a 6-pack so you can attract chicks. You're working out so you can freaking protect your family if you need to, so you can run if you need to. You can, physically perform. Now, do you want to work out? People are like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Yeah. Now they start to work out a little bit. So do you have little tricks like that you just shift perspectives for people?
But that's all coaching is, Brad. It's just to get people to see what they cannot see. So you just did it right there. Someone's like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then you share what you share, your perspective. And principle number 2 for us in our 13 principles, perspective creates possibilities. When someone's like, oh, this is not just about a 6-pack. I don't want a 6-pack, but I do want to weaponize my body, protect my family. I want to feel good. I want to look good. I want to feel more attractive. I want to have confidence. All of a sudden, what you just shared with them opens up perspective, which opens up possibilities. And when people have possibility, they're more likely to go do the work. They're more likely to sacrifice the donuts and the junk food and actually go hit the gym.
But my wife likes me fat.
That's a lie.
That's what she says.
That's what she says to make you feel good.
Now, again, I've said this too on social media before, and you get the chicks that are like, it is true. I do like a dad bod over a buff bod.
Then I'm like, great. That sounds like you got a great wife that wants you to be fat. Cool. But I always go back to the question, what do you want? And I have a client right now. probably 40 pounds bigger. I mean, muscular. And he's like, so crazy. When I started working out my wife, I was like, dude, why are you spending this money on supplements? Why do you go to the gym? 3 or 4 years later, 40 pounds muscular. And he's like, dude, my wife freaking loves it, man. She loves it. I'm like, of course she does. Of course she wants a man who looks muscular, fit. She feels safer. She feels more safe in public. And what kids don't want their dad to be fit and healthy? Like, look, kids are smart. They're either going to be embarrassed of you or they're going to be proud of you. That's a fact. So no matter how loving you are,
that's the truth, though.
It is,
because a lot of men out there, a lot of women obviously too, but a lot of guys out there love their kids, and they don't factor that into their physicality. They don't. You don't even think about it. It's like, well, what's that got to do with it? Dude, what's it got to do with it is they're not listening to you. They're watching you. And when they're seeing that their dad's a fat ass or got bitch tits or just a general frumpy slob, that's embarrassing to them, and they won't say it to the dad. The dad thinks they love you just because they're your kids. But in reality, dude, deep down, that kid doesn't want you to walk into the school. He doesn't want you to come do show and tell.
Truth.
Because they're embarrassed. Now, that would motivate me more than anything.
Yeah. That's
I quit smoking cigars because I asked my little girls, how come you guys don't run up and hug me anymore when I come home?
Because you smell like smoke or cigars.
And they say, because they didn't say that. They said, you stink. And I said, like, what? What are you talking about? I don't stink. Because when you smoke, you don't really smell it.
You can't smell it on yourself.
So anyway, they wouldn't hug me anymore. So I quit smoking cigars. Like,
there it is.
Cold turkey.
Because what you want is for your girls to run up and hug you and kiss you.
Yeah.
And then what you're doing is not giving you what you want, so you make a change. When it comes to parenting, one of the biggest distinctions I share with our clients is this. You will either be a warning of what not to be, or you will be a demonstration and an example of what's possible. And I'm like, look at your money. Look at how you take care of your family. Look at how you dress. Look at how your body and your fitness. Look at the quality of your marriage. If you have a son or daughter watching your marriage, seeing roommates, is that what you really want for your kids? To see parents coexisting, co-parenting, being average, not being in love? I'm like, no, there's a reason why I grab my wife, grab her all over, hug her, kiss her, date her. Number one, I love her. I'm in love with her. And I want my sons to be like, that's how it's done.
What if your wife said, stay out of her cell phone?
What do you mean?
You're not allowed in there. She likes her privacy.
Oh, see, to me, that don't work.
Me either.
There's no passwords.
I'd say later, Tater.
I'm like, no, marriage is trust. My wife, phone, cell, I'm like.
But you'd be willing to boot her out with all the kids and all the history
I
over that?
I wouldn't boot her out. We would just have a conversation.
What if she said, no, I'm adamant?
We'd have a conversation. We'd confront. There's the word. We'd confront what's going on.
But if push came to shove, would you dump her if you had to? Because that's what most men's problem is. They can't fathom their life without their wife and kids. So even though they're in a sexless marriage, loveless marriage, miserable marriage, they never confront it because they don't want to be without their kids. And I can agree a little bit on that because I have 7 kids from 4 different women. So I'm experienced in this. I would say kids are better off in happy houses than unhappy houses.
Amen.
So if you got to separate and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to be without my kids. Number one, you don't have to leave your kids just because you leave your wife or husband.
Correct.
But number 2, it's better that those kids are with 2 happy homes than 1 unhappy home.
100% agree. And you asked here's my answer to your question. You better know what you want, and you better know why it matters. And you better be clear that this is what you want.
So how do you get that right there? Because that's a hard thing to do.
Yep. So you got to go at principle 6, ask and receive. So you got to start to ask powerful questions, right? You've heard this a billion times. The moral quality question, the moral quality answer, the power of the question, personal development. But just ask real questions. And a starting point is going to be, well, what do I not want? What do you not want? That's an easy starting point.
Well, I'm going to use myself as an example, so you can coach me in real life right here. My wife's not going to be happy, but oh well. I'll use myself as an example.
Okay.
We have 3 dogs. 2 Chihuahuas and a Belgian Malinois. The only one I like is the Malinois because, you know, it's tough and it's cool and it could actually protect you if something happened, even though she's a little scaredy bitch and she probably wouldn't do anything. But I can't stand the dog hair. So I hire 2, basically. I have 2 maids. And of course my wife, she doesn't work. So, and the mother-in-law, all of them basically on payroll. But yet dog hair everywhere. So I'll go home, I'll sit down, and I'll be like, now I got to change my shirt. There's dog hair all over it. Dude, I get pissed off sometimes, but I don't say anything. Why? Well, I don't want to be a dick. The girls love the dogs, you know. Hey, it's home. We have to have dogs. What do you say about that? Dude, if I went to your course, I'd go home and divorce everybody. I'd go home and be like, dude, I'm done with this shit. I'm not doing this. Why? Because I'm telling the truth. The truth is I don't like this shit and I'm not going to fucking tolerate it anymore. Get rid of the fucking dogs. And then I'd have crying babies and.
So that's like the extreme.
I know, but that's what I feel like doing.
Brad, I would just coach him and be like, well, let me just ask you, like, when was the last time you had a real powerful conversation about dog hair?
Never. But that's because there is no conversation to have. When I start a conversation, it's like she doesn't argue. My wife doesn't argue. Like if I say,
what does she do? If you were to say, I don't like dog hair, she'll
say, I know, I'll get a better broom. I'll do it more than 17 times a day. Okay, fine. I'll do. In other words, she won't argue, so we can't have that conversation. I tell her, she knows it, and she basically what she says is, "Well, babe, we're not getting rid of the dogs."
Yeah. So you
can't get rid of the dogs because if I got rid of the dogs, my kids would cry forever. And my wife would be really upset.
But now, you're a business dude of possibilities. If there is a possibility.
Yeah, but that's where I just decided to compromise. Like, you know what, dude? I'll get a fucking lint brush, okay? Or a lint roller.
Yeah.
And it works fine. And guess what? You see any fucking dog hair on me? No. So it's like, and the only reason I'm saying this is because there's people out there that are going to take what you say and what other people say. And a lot of times what I say with, you don't tolerate it. You want this, you got to go get this and da-da-da-da-da. And what people don't realize is, dude, it's okay to compromise a little bit, right? I don't like dog hair and I don't necessarily want all the bullshit that comes along with pets shit in your backyard. We got a beautiful backyard, dude. I got to go back there and see pile of dog shit. Well, we'll get a pooper scooper. They come freaking twice a week. What do you want me to have one follow the dogs around? Yeah. No, you're going to see shit in your yard. I don't like that. But eventually at the same time, you finally just say, you know what? Makes my kids happy. And so you.
But here's what I would say to you. Like, how do I know that it's working for you? Because you have the dogs and you don't have the conversation. As much as you don't like it, you actually like something more than that, which is you like your kids and want to be happy.
Yeah,
it's working for you. Let's be real. It works for you. As much as irritating or as annoying as it is, Brad, it actually works.
But if my wife said, babe, I'll get rid of the dogs and all the dog hair and the dog shit will never be a problem again, I'd say, beautiful.
You want that?
Well, fuck yeah.
But you've never even had a real conversation. Here's another.
Yeah, I have. There's no getting rid of her dogs, dude. She loves her dogs.
But it's not about getting rid of the dogs. It's just about finding a way.
Wait till they die.
Even if you reduce the amount of hair, it's just so.
There's no option there. Again, like these dogs walk and shed.
I love it. But see, here's the beautiful thing, Brad. Now you're defending the position, and I'm like, great. Sounds like you've got it figured out. You're not open to possibilities. Dude, just keep doing what you're doing, and let's talk about something else.
Well, but how do I fix that if that really was a bother to me? If it was
a bother to you, you'd have to be real. Is it really a big deal? And are we living in expectations, or do we have an agreement? Principle 10 is agreements, not expectations. Most marriages fail or struggle because they never have real conversations about what they really want. They never create real agreements. They live in expectations, which causes misery, suffering, and just unhappiness. There's an expectation where you're like, dude, I hate dog hair. You've talked about, we're not getting rid of the dogs. It could be as simple as, I don't like dog hair. So let's find a way to reduce the amount of dog hair. Let's figure it out together. And you could tell her why. I don't like this, and this is why. There's things in my marriage that I've said, like, I don't like this.
What about clean towels?
You like clean towels?
Love them.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Fortunately, nothing for me. But dude, my ex-wife, one of the reasons she's an ex-wife is the towels. It was unbelievable.
Never had clean towels.
Never. You get out of the shower, you freaking grab a towel. It's mildewy. It's been there never clean towels, never clean fresh towels. And then sometimes even when you got clean towels, they weren't clean. They smelled like clean mildew. In other words, you know them towels that like maybe were mildewy for so long they never will smell again.
Never get rid of the smell.
They were like that. And so when you get out of the shower, you're nice and clean, and then you dry off and you smell. It's like, what the hell? Then you go try and find there is no clean towels. Like, dude, that used to freaking set me off.
Yeah, I get it, Brad. I got stuff in my own life that's like your not clean towels or like the dog hair. And the principle, create and live inside of agreements, not expectations. Agreements require powerful, real conversation multiple times to create what's going to happen, by when it's going to happen, who's going to do it, and why does it matter? What, by when, by how, by who? You got just frameworks of coaching and teaching. If a person is serious about having clean towels, you go figure it out. You go have a conversation.
Or how about put them there yourself, bitch?
Some people might say that.
I mean, if I were coaching somebody, that's the thing.
Again, yeah, that's one possibility. Buy a bunch of towels.
I'd say quit relying that type of demand on other people.
That's one option. 100%.
Yeah, like go get your own damn towels. Now, if someone would have told me that back in the day, I might still be married to her, because that was one of the reasons I blew her out.
One of the reasons.
Oh, there was multiple reasons. Dude, she wanted to be the boss, reasons. And there's no.
And you're the boss.
I am the boss.
Like, I'll just say this on that. Like, the people I work with, like, we give them the right principles. They can go confront everything from the biggest non-negotiables to the towels or the dog hair.
Yeah, because the dog hair, I don't like it, but it's tolerable.
Yeah, you can tolerate it.
It's because of the happiness they bring. But when they die, I'm not getting new dogs. Period. Or I don't want to say period, because I do get suckers for puppy. But at the end of the day, dude, you know what I'm saying. And really what I'm doing is I'm trying to tell the bomb squad, because there's people listening going, that's me. What should I do? And they're going to take what you're saying and what I'm saying, and they're going to go do something about, maybe do something with it. And I don't want them to do something wrong, like the towels and the dog hair. Like, dude, Brad said, well, yeah, but Brad was just using that as an example. Brad allows the dog hair, because here's the bottom line, bro. You get what you tolerate.
100%.
Period. There it is. You get what you tolerate. And that, dude, there's so much truth to that statement. People need to really hear that over and over.
But a lot of people tolerate mediocrity. They tolerate like
bad marriages,
unhealthy bodies. They tolerate like unworkable behavior inside of their children. Unworkable. Like, it doesn't work, but behavior that is rewarded gets repeated. Behavior that is tolerated, aka rewarded, gets repeated. And too many people, they tolerate being average. They tolerate mediocrity. They tolerate, again, if your children are in school, I get the whole grades thing, right? It matters. It doesn't, whatever. Everyone's got a different opinion. But I'm like, look, in our family, like, we have a standard. It means something to be a Gali. We are champs, not chumps. So there's in training and indoctrination with my children, like, this is how a man does it. This is how we do it. We have a standard, and that's a high standard. And when you turn 18, you want to go live your own standard, boys? I love you. You're going to do whatever you want to do. But up until you're 18, I'm going to show you how we do it and what it means to be a Gali. And we're champs. Like, we provide, we give back, we stand up for what's right. We leave people better than we found them. We lead, we do the right things, and we don't tolerate bullying and people getting picked on, and we don't tolerate mediocrity. And my boys are used to it now. They know the language of our home. They know how we do it, and I love it.
What do they look like?
16, 13, 10. The two younger ones are athletic,
6'6", 6'9", and 7'9".
They're like 6'1", like 5'10", and I don't even know, but my two older ones got like size 14, 15 shoes. They're wearing my shoes and my clothes. And then my youngest, he's like 10 years old. He's got like a size 10 shoe. Like, he's big feet. So he's going to hit a growth spurt. And I love him. I love being a dad and a husband. Like,
Where do you live?
Florida, Destin, Florida.
Destin, Florida. And you're married?
Married for 17 years.
And how many kids?
3 boys.
3 boys.
Yeah.
And what's like on your horizon? What is like, your next 10 years look like?
Next 10 years, we got a window, and so financially, we have some goals, right? We have a window of numbers and goals we're wanting to go hit and create, right? We call it empire. We want to go build an empire. Relational empires are like, so 3 things, right? Build wealth, create memories, expand legacy. So everything I do falls in, I'm building wealth with my body, building wealth with my spirit, building wealth with my family, unforgettable memories, vacations, trips, being present, and then expanding the legacy.
I like the memories one.
Yeah.
Because dude, when it boils down to it, life is made up of memories. And the better the memories and the more vivid the memories, I think the better the life. And when you're, 90 years old, that's life.
Yes.
And that's how you're going to be judged. And that's how you're going to be, decided on whether you've made a good life. The memories.
Molecules. So it's like this, like moments are the molecules that make up the memories. And so many people miss those moments. Again, I take my kids to school every day. I love it. Those are moments. I take them to breakfast once or twice a week. Yeah. We sit. So on the horizon for me, 10 years, like in 10 years, my youngest is going to be 20. Like I have this, we call it a 30-year legacy, then a 10-year vision. So we map and push this stuff on paper once a year. We're always looking, course correcting, recalibrating. I'm really clear that like the life we're building right now, like 0 regrets, play as big as we can play. And then that's it. Like build wealth across the board, create unforgettable memories, and then expand a legacy. And, legacy gets tossed out there about money. I'm like, legacy is, I heard this from someone and I took it. I use it. It's not what you leave with people. It's what you leave in them. So I invest a lot of time into my sons, with my wife. Like that, they're everything to me. So as much business as I love to do, as much impact as I love to have with people, like it's to show my family, like I'm leading us. And this is how a man does it. This is how a man provides. This is how a man shows up with his wife and children. And I'm hoping my sons will be like, that's how we do it. I show my boys my bank accounts once a month. We talk about bank statements and P&Ls and investments and assets. We talk about this. They see the money in the accounts like, dude, we're so rich. I'm like, slow down. You ain't rich. We rich. And we ain't that rich. Like I'm trying to show them there's like the baseline, but our baseline is here. So gym, scripture study, prayer, gratitude, everything. Like we try so hard, man, to live this amazing life with our boys right now.
Well, that's good. My question with a lot of people is, well, I wouldn't say it's a question. I'd say a statement. Don't make assumptions. Like the other day, I forget how, anyway, long story short, I didn't think that my little girls wanted to play Candyland. They love their iPads. So my wife was saying something. And I'm like, babe, they don't want to play a game. She goes, well, they would if you asked. No, they don't. They love their iPads. See, I was just making an assumption. I was being a little punk, actually. And so I went to, my room and I'm like, sitting there and I thought, you know what? This is going to be one of those times where like you wish you played games, because at one point in time they're not going to want to play games. So I put down my phone because I was going to go check my social media and reply to people and shit. So I was just thinking, let me go see, because you can't get those times back.
Never.
So I said, let me go see. So I walked out. I said, hey, you guys want to play Candyland? And they both jumped up, happy as hell. I'm green, I'm yellow. And dude, we sat there and played Candyland for 30 minutes. Now, a lot of people be like, dude, big deal. But I'm telling you, dude, those are the moments. So don't assume your kids don't want to have time with you. I've made that assumption a lot.
Brad, my boys love, like we go to the gym, we go to the field on the weekends, we train on the field, all the dynamic warm-up, speed workout.
Yeah, but that's because you're a good dad. There might be dads out there listening that they don't do that. And so now they're thinking it's too late to do that.
Oh, it's never too late. I've had clients.
My kids don't want to do that. They want to go hang out with their friends. And I've asked them before. You want to play catch? They said no, they'd rather go to their friend's house.
No, here's what I'd say to that man who's listening right now. Ain't too late, man. Like, real talk. Kids want the relationship. What they don't want is to be burned. Like, Dad, let's go play catch. Okay, I got something. They don't want to be let down and rejected again and again. So the kids put up their own walls. They put up walls. I'm good, Dad. Because you've let them down so many times. If you have withdrawn from this relationship and that's in the negative, you got to go deposit. And if you've been an asshole of a dad for, let's say, 10 or 15 years or their whole lives, you got makeup work to do. And as long as it takes.
That's right.
Like, you got work to do. And that's why I go back to, what do you want? If you truly want to be connected to your child, even if they're an adult child, you got to go do what's required. And if you've been an asshole for 20 years, it ain't happening because you went to some seminar or listened to a podcast or read some book. You need to go show them for as long as it takes. I'm here. And I tell the men, if the man's listening to this right now, they're like, it's too late. I'm like, go up to your child, look them in the eye, and like say, I want to talk with you. It's something that matters to me. And they're like, what? And acknowledge, I haven't been here. I have not shown up. I have not been a good dad. But what I want, and tell them what you want. I want to be close. I want to have conversations. I want you to trust me. I want you to come to me when there's stuff going on, and I want you to lean on me. And I want to be able to just talk with you. I want us to be, and you got to tell them what you want. Then they're like, okay, I want that too. And even if they say, well, I don't want it, because you give them a chance and space to just tell you like you haven't been there, and be okay with it. And then go to work. I'm so clear. As you know, like, any prize can be had if you're willing to pay the price. And if
that's right.
If the prize is significant, the price is significant. And that price for a lot of men is going to be patience, keeping your word, showing up long before the results will ever show up. And if you'll do that, I'm clear, like, you can go to bed at night knowing that I'm doing the work. I'm doing what's required so I can get what's desired. And I don't care where you're at and with your, like, any relationship can be salvaged if you want it, if you're committed to it, and if you're willing to go pay that price.
And the funny thing is there's a remainder of people listening right now going, yeah, but I don't know what all those are. Well, that's why you get a coach, dipshit. That is why you get a coach. I tell people this, if you want, I can show you how to get anything you want in life. Number one, you got to figure out what it is. That's the harder part. Yeah. That's why when you said it earlier, I'm like, how do you do that? Because, like, it's hard for someone to really figure out what they want. So that's the first thing. You figure out what it is that you want. Number two, you figure out how to get it, which sounds obvious, but most people will be like, well, duh, but how? That's the thing. I don't know how. Dude, it's so simple. Figure out what you want and then find someone who's already done it, or has already got it, or has already been there. And then you ask them, what did you do? Because 9 times out of 10, like action causes like result. And then the third one is you do the work. And then most people say, that's where I get weak. Well, you get weak on the work part because you don't actually want what you think you want.
Yes, that's a bomb right there, bro. Drop the ball, man.
Because you got to do more thinking. You got to do more searching. You got to do more, like, almost praying, like, internally, not externally. What do you want? Forget what you think you want and what everyone thinks you should want. What do you want? Because some people are like, dude, I just want to be left alone and go fishing. Well, then go fishing, bitch. Like, don't worry about the rest of the world telling you, well, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. Worry about what you want. But if you focus on really what you want, you figure out how to get it, which is to ask someone who's already got it. You do the work. Then the fourth and final one is simple. It's pay attention. Like, you could be doing the wrong shit for a long period of time and end up way away from where you want to be. A lot of people say it's just consistency. It's not just consistency, dipshit. You can consistently be wrong. Okay. Consistency is normal. There's a lot of people consistently showing up, consistently sucking, consistently, like everyone says, it's all about trust. Dude, you can be trusted to fuck something up. Is that good? Okay, so yes, it's not just trust, folks. You got to pay attention. So like open your eyes, pay attention to what you're seeing and what you're healing and what you're feeling, okay? And then make adjustments. So you figure out what you want, figure out how to get it, which is find someone who got it, do the work, that's the key, and then make adjustments. And I guarantee you'll get anything you want in life by doing that. And if you don't, it's because you didn't wait long enough. And if you don't, it's because you're dead. And if you're dead, it doesn't matter.
Amen.
Now, I know that you don't take on everybody in the world. You're not looking for thousands of new clients, but if a bomb squad member's like, dude, I want to change my shit and I want to know how to do it, then they call you. Are you open to some new clientele?
100%. And if all of our programs are application only. Right now, we don't have programs we don't have the low ticket where you can just go buy a course. We'll get there. I work with people who apply, they fill out an application, they have a conversation with one of our advisors or enrollment director. And if you're listening to this, look, you just, when it says who refers you, just put Bradley's name in there.
Or Bomb Squad, dog.
Bomb Squad, put the Bomb Squad so we know where it's coming from. And I said it to the group I just spoke to, and I'll say it again here. You don't come to me when you want a counselor or when you want therapy. Go find counselors and therapists at once, or a psychologist or a doctor. If you want to perform at the highest levels, if you want to unlock and unleash and access the power in you to produce results, I might be able to help you. I know I can help you. I just don't know if you're committed enough. And if a person's like, I want my health and fitness, I want my marriage, I want my purpose, I want it all. Those are the people I help, because the investment to work with us is not small, and neither is having a life of regret, right? So I work with people who are highly committed. I will do what's required. I'm going to do what I say I will do. And I'm going to learn how to take decisive action regardless of thoughts, feelings, emotions, and moods. That's who I work with. People who are committed. No matter what, I'm going to go get that. No matter what, I'm going to go get it. No matter the price, I'm going to get that. That's who I work with.
And if everyone had a crystal ball, they'd all be doing it.
Yeah.
Because listen, I can tell you right now, the difference between what you're describing, moving towards versus to where most people are living their whole life this way versus this way, it's a world of differences. It's a world of difference. All people have to do is realize, number one, it can be done. Number two, how do you do it? That's the question. Find someone that knows and go tear it up. Otherwise, I always say, dude, take the jersey off and sit down. Get out of the game.
That's the thing. Just stop saying that you want the thing. Stop it. This is my phrase. Go to Home Depot, buy a hammer, look at the hammer, and hit yourself in the face. You either want it or you don't. If you don't want it, don't say you want it. Don't try to put on a show I really want this thing. No, you don't. You don't want it. I don't want to be 230 pounds. I don't. So I don't eat that way. I like being big and muscular right now. I do. There's things I don't want. I'm not going to tell you I want it. If I want it, I'm going to go get it.
Yeah, but people, who would, for example, if I could pick my height, I wouldn't be 7 feet tall. I think that's too awkward looking. But I'd definitely probably stack me up to maybe 6'3", 6'4". I got to 6'1", which thank God, okay, because I don't want to be no 5'8" dude. But at the end of the day, 5'8" dude doesn't want to be a 5'8" dude. They can't just decide I want to be 6'4" and be 6'4", but they can decide they're going to be the most they can be at 5'8".
Yes,
and there's a big difference between where they are and where they could be.
100%.
Matter of fact, I was just at a conference where I was talking to Flex Lewis. You know Flex Lewis?
I don't know Flex Lewis.
He owns Dragon's Lair here in town. Best gym in town, by the way. If you guys are in Las Vegas, Nevada, and you want the best bodybuilding freaking...
I got to go.
Dude, it's Dragon's Lair. It's right there on the freeway. But anyway, Flex Lewis, dude, he's 3-time Mr. Olympia. He's massive, but he's only 5'8", 5'9". dude, you can be huge at that size. The question is are you reaching your potential? And are you getting results? Because that's at the end of the day, that's what you are. You get results. You're not there to, make them feel better about themselves. You're there to freaking get them where they want to be.
Real results, like fruit, results, the thing that actually you produce and create. That's our game.
Folks, you guys heard it. Dude, I appreciate you coming in.
Brad, good to be here, man.
I'm going to have you back. Next time you're in Vegas, let me know. We can do an episode 2. We talk about a few more things.
Love it.
All right, guys, listen. Go to his website, Setema, again, Gali, but don't let the ends fool you. It's Setema Gali. You can see the links down in the podcast. And until next time, as always, keep it real.
Forgiveness is one of the highest frequency emotional states. It goes forgiveness, love, gratitude, enlightenment. So when people do fuck up, I tell them, you got to forgive yourself first. And then you go right into an act of self-love. Yeah. And that's how you raise your frequency and see everything from a higher frequency.